What you are looking at is a breaking situation. That is the smoke from what we are told is artillery fire from northern Israel. You can hear some of the blast there into southern Lebanon. All right, those are the pictures. Now, let me show you on the map what we're looking at right now. This is the border between Israel and Lebanon. Let's go to southern Lebanon. Our Ben Wiedemann is standing by there. Ben, give us a sense of what you are seeing and hearing.
John, in the last few minutes, we heard several large explosions in the mid-distance. Right behind me, what you're seeing is the mountain. On one half of it is Lebanon, the other is Israel, and right below me is the Israeli community of Metula. Now, we heard this is a town that's been under, it's a closed military area for the last few hours, but as I said, in the last few minutes, we heard several large explosions in the distance. That, in addition to what is going on to the west of here, nearer to the Mediterranean, along the border, where we understand, according to the Lebanese news, the official Lebanese news agency, several rockets were fired in the direction of Israel. They were intercepted by the Iron Dome system. The Israelis later apparently targeted, according to the Lebanese news agency, an army observation point, and we understand that there are ongoing exchanges in that area as well. Now, this is sort of a change from the pace during the rest of the day. Earlier in the day, it was relatively quiet. In fact, the assumption was that perhaps the worst had passed. Here, I just heard another explosion. I don't know if you heard that as well, and another one. So it does appear that things are picking up. I could hear the impact of that one in this direction. There are Lebanese soldiers here observing what's going on. Okay, I'm just going to step out of the way. If you look at the top of that hill, there's a plume of smoke. I believe, but I'm not certain, that on that side of the hill is Lebanon. But I can't say with absolute certainty. So yes, this just began a few minutes ago. We don't know the reason, the cause, but certainly the tensions here are extremely high. Hezbollah, the main sort of military force in this area, in addition to the Lebanese army, has by and large been relatively restrained since the outbreak of fighting in Gaza. Yeah, I can hear another impact. So yeah, you can see there's smoke on the top of the hill. It appears multiple impacts up there. What I think I'm hearing is outgoing fire, and then moments later you hear the impact. There it is right there. John?
Yeah, we hear the thuds. We hear the thuds, Ben, and if you can explain, and you know this region so well, we've been so focused on Gaza to the south, if you're looking at the map of Israel. You are, of course, on the northern border between Israel and Lebanon, and the concern there from the Israeli perspective, we just saw a flash on that hill I did a moment ago. The concern...
Yeah, maybe I should step out of the way. Yes.
The concern for Israel in terms of what happens in Lebanon isn't so much the Lebanese government per se, but it is Hezbollah. Why are they so concerned about what Hezbollah might do, and what kind of lines has Hezbollah publicly drawn? It said, this is when we'll get involved in this.
Well, obviously, John, the Israelis are concerned by the fact that Hezbollah, and I'm just going to pop into the car and get my flak jacket on while I'm talking to you. The Israelis are concerned that if Hezbollah becomes involved, it is a formidable military organization made so, with the help of Iran. And we saw even back in 2006 that Hezbollah was essentially able to fight the Israelis to a standstill. Since then, their capabilities have only improved. Their weaponry has only improved. They have lots of experience in house-to-house, street-to-street warfare from Syria. And therefore, if they become involved, it's a whole different situation than what you have in Gaza, far greater. Yeah, I see another impact up there. Now, Hezbollah has sort of said that if Israel attacks Lebanon, it will become fully involved. Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, has always made it clear that Hezbollah will decide the time and place where it will engage with Israel, and that that Hezbollah will not be drawn into a war not of its choosing. And so basically it does appear that, at least until now, I should stress, that Hezbollah has been hesitant to become involved in this war. Now, this could be simply a passing incident, not necessarily the beginning of something, but it certainly does represent something of a deterioration. John?
An exchange of fire, to be sure, there. We can see the smoke rising above the hill behind you, Ben. You're back in frame now. The smoke rising above the hill. We did see a small flash there. And to be clear, that smoke rising behind you is Lebanon. Those are the impact zones at this point where things are landing. That is inside Lebanon, you believe?
I do believe so, yes. I sort of haven't had a chance to check my coordinates exactly, but I do believe that is Lebanon.
All right, Ben, we do appreciate you being there, being witness to this. Be safe, and please do keep us posted, because these developments are so crucial to see if it does escalate even more. All right, Ben Wiedemann up here on the border between Israel and Lebanon. We're going to go down here now to Gaza. I can show you the situation there. Our Aaron Burnett is in southern Israel, not far. This is the border. This is Gaza right here. This is Egypt right here. She's not far from Gaza. She's not far from Egypt in this region right here. Aaron, what are you seeing now?
All right, so we're just over a ridge from a major staging area for an Israeli tank battalion, John. And basically, this particular tank battalion, they were in on Saturday right after the attacks, among the first to go in Saturday afternoon. And they're now staging, resupplying, and they say they're ready. And that's really what we've seen, because we have been spending time going up and down along this Gaza border. Right now, we're about 3 miles away from the Gaza border itself, and as you and Kate have been saying, we're about 10 or so miles from the Egyptian border. So right here along the south, where there's been massive staging of Israeli forces, and when you hear that going by, those are all military vehicles. I will say they're also, though, busing in troops on buses, literally coaches. So if you say 50 or so of those, just even in the past bit, we've seen about 250 troops just coming in. It's just a constant flow in. And if we're going to think that they've been saying they have 350,000 troops already on this border where we are, they've been just adding in constantly through the day, and we have seen a higher state of readiness, not just with a tank battalion that we're looking at here, but also with the troops coming in, wearing their helmets, wearing their protective equipment. They are ready, and there is a state of readiness, and obviously what that exactly means, we can't tell you in terms of how imminent any action might be, but we have seen that shift between today and the past few days, and we continue to hear the outgoing artillery fire followed by those thuds of explosions. In this case, in Gaza, similar to what, of course, Ben was just showing you live as that artillery was coming into southern Lebanon.